Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. So we can do it all night and we can make it go right up. Boom, boom, boom. Good morning, socials. How are we today? Sorry, Dan's getting his tooth pulled. So I had to wait for Grandpa, get him ready. Hi, Mary. And everything. So here I am. I know you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, it's 9:10. What is she doing? Is she doing anything at all? Yes, I was doing a lot. Oh, cleaning the house. I was getting the two downstairs, actually just one toilet cleaned right now. That's all I have time for. Got Grandpa changed and dressed. We have no fires here. We're good. We are not in Southern California. Greetings and hallucinations. Greetings and hallucinations. I know, sorry, you guys. I do bring it every day, that's for sure. And even when I don't want to. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Greetings and hallucinations. I feel like I'm hallucinating every day. I watch the news. Hallucinations. Shit. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Gavin, every day is a different day. Typically anywhere from 2 to 5 with walking to. Hello from my hometown of Tennessee. I got cousins that live in East Tennessee. Did I have a better night? Yes, kind of, I think. I think I got up with Ed one time. Dan woke me up at some point, trying to get, Dad, go back to bed, type of a thing. With Ed, it's the same thing every day. Eileen, it feels like it is Groundhog's Day. Every day is the same thing. Every day is the same. So you feel like you're literally spinning in a time warp, right? And you never get to your destination because you're constantly in this, same day. It was hectic. It's our birthday week. Mine last Saturday, my husband's last week was filled with doctor, attorneys, and account meetings. Woo! Mary, you got some shit. It's 18 degrees. Are you cold in the Elk Grove today? Not so bad. It was froggy. It was sure as hell froggy. I really like that. Greetings and hallucinations. I'm gonna start saying that. It is like the movie Groundhog's Day. Every day. And the fact that I have the routine of the whole day, I know what's going to be asked. I know what's going to be said. I know the repetition. I know around the time it's going to happen, even his sleeping cycle. It is tearing me down. It's exhausting. Caregiver fatigue is real. Sure is. And that's why caregivers look haggard. We're tired. We're cranky. We're emotional. And it's just the facts of life. So a couple of women were like, no wonder why Dan looks always so rested. No, you just don't know him any other way because he's had insomnia his whole life, right? So Dan has, for you, Dan's always in the sleep cycle, right? So ever since you've known him, he's the same. He's the same because he's always had sleep deprivation. So for you, it doesn't look any different. But for me, you can see a decline. That's age too. Unfortunately, women get fucked with age. So he does want full attention. I mean, literally, if you could sit by Ed all day long and follow him around, he would probably be a little bit less agitated, right? But you don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that. My life is too busy for that. And plus, I don't want to put myself in that situation for all day. It gets monotonous. Everybody says, well, you should sit down with him. No. If it bothers you, you come sit down with him. but I got shit to do. Our life revolves around Ed enough, right? Our life revolves around Ed enough. We are not here to entertain. That's not our job. Our job is to caregive. Tis that I just don't want to go on. It's getting real hard. I know. I mean, my caregiving has taken a turn, because they have more deficits. They get more deficits, right? More things that you have to cater to them for, and it's exhausting. So it's not fabulous, Susan, but it is what it is. He's home where he wants to be. Unfortunately for me, right? It's just a lot more hectic. I have to have humor. I have to have humor because if not, I would be probably locked up in a loony bin. You guys remember thumbs up on TikTok? Nope. On the tube, tap, 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 tap on the TikTok. So today's Wednesday. Dan makes Ed his full attention like Dan needs it. Not really. You guys have to remember, you see a fragment of our days. You see a fragment. Dan does not cater to his dad any more than I do, right? He gives you some videos trying to, spark his mind and his memory, but Dan doesn't sit with him, He's working, he's trying to, figure out money, bills, dealing with his family stuff. So he's not in the nucleus of the household. It's me. Even though I'm running around, right, doing my stuff, I'm still in the center where Ed can see where I deal with him majority of the day. I deal with the monotony. Dan's in his room dealing with other shit. So Dan doesn't do any more than I do. So you don't see it all. It's just the perceptions that people paint themselves, right? Based on them feeling that they know us and they know our daily in and out, and all that stuff. So no, he's not any more attentive to his father than I am. We take him to, thank you, Kim. We take him to, Dan does his typical stuff with his dad, right? I can tell you. Either I'm getting him ready for the morning or Dan is, right? Then he gets him set up half the time because Dan has ADHD. He forgets to give him coffee, forgets to turn on the television, and places him down. But Dan does a lot more of the bathroom rituals lately because he thinks he does it better, and that's fine. He can have that. He can have that luxury. Dan takes him for walks multiple times a day. And I'm just trying to lay it out, what basically our routines are. And Dan goes for his walk. Dan goes and gets lunch. And honestly, he hasn't been taking him lately, right? He hasn't been. It gets more difficult, right? As the disease progresses, more of a hassle sometimes to get him out of the house, right? So anywho, hi Screech. So anyhow, and that's pretty much what he does. Occasionally, if I've had enough or I need, if in case like I'm just done for the day, right? I say I need a nap or whatever, I make him take him, but he really hasn't been taking him as much, but he has been walking him more to get him out of the house. So I think Dan also he won't admit it, right? I mean, Dan doesn't really give you his whole truth. He doesn't really give me his whole truth either. So as much as he says it doesn't bother him, everything's fine, I know he struggles with patience just like all of us. And that's why he uses more of the time for himself, right? To get out and to do things and to have that break. without the just badgering and the constant, you know, bugging and where's my wallet? Where's this? Where's that? So it's, you know, not always what you seem it is. Mom, I'm taking for so hard. Just couldn't control my mouth. It's hard. I mean, Eileen, I can't control my mouth all the time. No, I mean, and you guys act like that's abnormal. You act like that's just unacceptable. It's not, it's life. How do you respond with your husbands, your partners, your kids? You guys stop making it about the caregiving role. It's tedious. It's harder than any caregiving role you've had. So stop beating yourselves up for not having the patience. And that's why I keep telling you guys, it's not me. Like, I'm not this, you know, guru of patience. I'm not perfect. You know, here's the thing. I don't put videos on there to show you what it's like to be a perfect caregiver. There is no such thing. The only thing you are perfect with is your knowledge of the person you are caring for. That's it. For me, I'm not perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. I show you what I show you with no filters, no edits, no nothing. Because that's my reality. That's what I do every day, right? Do I yell louder? Yep, when I'm mad. What I show on my videos could be some frustration, sometimes, warrantly, obviously so, right? It's ridiculous that people don't think that caregivers are supposed to be this magical, calm and patient person. It's bullshit. So if you want to continue to think that every caregiver you watch, every caregiver you see is better than me or whatever, you guys need to get over yourselves. Life is not that way. Yes, Dan hasn't taken his dad to the bank in months, because we just put money in there. Yeah, he's had the same $10 in his wallet probably for the last, 4 months, 5 months. So I'm just trying to tell you the realities. I'm showing you my reality. I'm not ashamed of it. In any of those situations, I'm not yelling at him because I'm mad. I'm talking loud so he can hear. I have never once videoed a yelling, frustrated match with Ed, nor will I ever. So stop trying to pin me as being some meanie patootie. Am I frustrated? Probably. But keep in mind of the times and the amount of times I've repeated myself over and over again. Anybody's gonna lose patience, even Dan. Dan just shows you a different aspect of his journey with his father, right? He shows you more of the father-son relationship, you know, trying to keep his dad healthy, his brain alive. I show the caregiving side of a woman who is taking care of her house and everything that comes with it, along with her father-in-law, to meet his basic needs. That's it. It's different. But don't think that any one of us is better. Don't think that well, I do a little bit more. But don't think that Dan's a Prince Charming, right? He just doesn't show those things like I do. And we're different, right? We're different, right? GSR, now that's something you can get off on. We're different. We're different. And he doesn't show, because he doesn't do as much caregiving as I do. His caregiving's different. He can't show a lot of the things he deals with. Hi, Anki. Hi, Teresa. So you just have to open your eyes and understand our dynamics. And majority of you get it. It's just those small percentage of people who don't. And nor do they, or will they ever try. But you choose the perspective you want to see. You choose the perspective that you want to believe. I'm giving you the facts. You don't want to believe him? That's on you, not me. I pamper Ed in different ways. Yeah, I do. I mean, I've been making him, his lunches more, because by the time Dan gets up, I know, y'all are like, damn, Danielle's hot. I know, I was excited. By the time Dan gets going lately and finishes his bullshit, whatever he does, it's too late. It's 1 o'clock and I'm making him lunch. So I've been carrying a bigger load than he has for sure. I know what you mean about being repetitive. I feel bad when I have to. What did she say? Huh? It's just like when people on the videos say hearing aids ? Why don't you get the man some hearing aids? The repetition drives me nuts. Even from people on the outside. I'm tired of caregiving and cleaning every day. Me too, Pam. Me too. And you're just in a slump today, a bigger slump than normal, right? I think it's fair to say, Pam, and any other caregivers out there, I think it's fair to say that we're always in a slump. It's a varying degree of a slump because nothing changes in our day-to-day, right? It's pretty much the same routine. You get up, you do whatever you gotta do. I wait until Ed gets up or Dan does, and then we can, tag team and get on with our day. But every day is different on the slump, the multitude, the percentage of a slump we're in. No. And between, it's not 50-50. It just never is, right? Never is. Because I gotta do my shit, Dan's gotta do his shit, and typically when he's got his shit to do, it's like everything halts for him. Because Dan has ADHD, he gets overwhelmed, he gets stressed out, he yells, he screams, and he's just unhappy until he gets it done. So I just don't talk to him. And I pick up majority of the slack. I don't wash his privates. That's one thing he does. If I had to, have I? Yes. Yes. For different reasons. You do what you have to do, right? In these situations. There's nobody else to do it. But y'all who think Dan's this perfection of an Adonis, no. Just because I show what I show doesn't make him any better at it than I do. I am. And most times I am better at it, even with my tone, my direct communication with him. I am better at it. So, anyhow, we all have our down days. Yep. We just get going. We just move, Some days we're in a fog. Now, I told y'all, prepare to get turned on. I have to say, that was pretty hot. I really kind of like looking at myself. Anyhow, so stop comparing the two of us because we are completely two different beings. Some of you might be surprised, right? With your goggles, your eye goggles on. Because Dan is loud. He comes off abrasive sometimes because of his short fuse. He's very irritated very easily, and he's admitted to that. Tyler, who's that? Hochin? More than Stamos. Oh, I didn't even know. So anyhow, it is what it is. I have mom mode, right? I have mom mode. I'm quick, I'm direct because you have to be with Ed. Just like today. He was like, I want to close the door. He has this thing. Ed got up from his chair. He's probably going to take let me go look real quick. Thanks, Pam, because he's probably putting that thing away. The reality of this job is we do it out of love. We do it because we choose to do it, or you work together as a team to do it. But the day-to-day in and out is bullshit. The end of it, you don't like your job, right? You don't like, yeah, Tim and Tom. You don't like your job. I don't like it every day. I don't like it probably most every day. And that's the truth for me. I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but my truth is I don't always like this job. Some days I hate it, right? Some days it's all right. Some days it's just my job. But it's not pleasant. It's really not pleasant. There's a lot of stress, hi Deb. A lot of stress, a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. That's the truth. Again, if you don't want truth, this isn't the channel for you. If you want fairy tale, go find the other channels that give you the warm, fuzzy feelings. But my channel, I deliver the truth. And I started doing that a long time ago because caregivers who have bonded to me have said, I need you. Please, I need to see you, right? I know you're not going to show me at your worst, but I need to see your challenges. Every day is full of them. Someday the whole day is full of them. We sit on the couch sometimes in a daze, right? Because we're trapped. We feel so trapped, so lonely. It is possible to be lonely living and caregiving for our loved one, even with a house full of people. Even with a house full of people. Again, I bare my soul for the people who need to hear it, to make them feel like they aren't alone. You aren't alone. I feel the same way. Sometimes I'm the loneliest surrounded by people, absolutely. I feel lonely a majority of the time. And I think every caregiver has a form of depression. Has a form of depression because of the trap feeling, because of feeling isolated, because you're doing the same thing day in, day out with no break and no way to unwind. So that's the truth. Find the people who talk about the truth. Yeah, and it's a breakdown. It's an individual breakdown. I was talking to my friend January, and many of you follow her, know her, and you know she cares for her mom, and it's lonely. You know, we were talking the other day, and I said, you know, I think we all have depression. I think there's a certain amount of depression that everybody has as a caregiver, especially when you are challenged, and most of us are challenged every day. So you can't, and I realized, Ella, the older I get, the harder it is for me. And I think that's normal. She was losing it. No, I didn't. Good, I'm glad she is. I'm glad she's showing what she goes through, because that's the truth of caregiving. You know, that's the truth. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to sit on the social media. So occasionally when I'm waiting for my videos to upload, I kind of scroll through to get caught up with some things. I did blood pressure medicine because the stress got so bad. Yeah, and when I was in the doctor yesterday, I think a lot of it is, I have this thing in my brain now every time. I had one bad read one time of my blood pressure, right? I had one bad read years ago during COVID, and I was nervous about the shot. So now every time I see the blood pressure cuff, I get anxious. So my blood pressure is really high, right? All the time, the first read. Now she did it, it was high. It was like 172 over something, but the doctor had just come in, and I've never had the Botox trigger points yet. So I was a little nervous because, the head hurts. I've had it in the jaw, but so anywho, and I knew my muscles are tight. So when your muscles are super tight, it hurts when the needle goes in. So I always get a little nervous. And I always, because I'm a hypochondriac, I'm like, okay, is this the way? Is this how, I'm going to have to, is this, anyhow, am I going to, have the difficult breathing this time? The spots in the eyes, the headache, you start, I do anyway. Even though I've had it multiple times, never had a reaction, I still, so anyway, I'm like, well, she's like, that's all right, we'll do it again. Now it dropped, but it didn't drop enough to where I was technically in the okay. So she's like, she goes, because it dropped so much, I'm just assuming but she's like, just do yourself a favor and just keep checking it. If you have one at home, just make sure that it's within normal, And I always know, because I can feel my heart rate. I can feel my heart beating out of my chest. And I know it's not normally does that, but sometimes you don't know. So she's like, you just got to worry about hypertension. And I'm thinking to myself, I very well could. I'm more elevated now than I used to always be, right? And I'm thinking I could very well have mild hypertension because of the stress, right? Because of the stress. So I really need to probably watch that a little bit more, honestly. All right. Let me go to the bathroom really quick, make sure Dan's okay. Because he didn't even come in and talk. Hold on. Dan doesn't look too happy, so I just wanted to make sure. Normally, he would come out here and, say a thing or two, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay. I said, are you okay? So you know what my day's going to be like. Yeah, Dan got his tooth pulled. Yeah. So anyhow, you guys remember, thumbs up on YouTube, tap, 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 tap on the TikTok. Yeah, so he's not happy. He's not happy. And men, right? I don't need to tell you about men. Gosh. So we had a funny conversation this morning on Zoom. And I have to bring it up because, with all the alien talk going around and UFOs and all that bullshit and, classified information that we don't know yet, but they're not now, right? They're not denying that something is going on, right? So Dan's tripping, and all he's been talking about is, the aliens. The aliens are coming, right? And you remember I had, so anywho, Dan was talking about how it's weird how now it's starting to happen right before now just keep an open mind. This is fucking funny. Doesn't matter what side you're on. This is funny. And so, we were talking about this in the morning, just making fun. And I was like, well, it's obviously because Donald Trump's the leader of the aliens. There's no other explanation than Trump is the alien leader. Because if he's just coming out You know, so we just kind of keep snowballing and you know, like, and all this time we thought we thought aliens were green. They're actually orange. Joke's on us. Anyhow, so we just kind of morphed, and my friend says, and MAGA doesn't stand for Make America Great Again. It stands for Make Aliens Great Again. So that's Donald Trump's new slogan today. Make aliens great again. That's going to be his whole mission now in this next term, is the alien life forces out there. Anyhow, just I giggled so hard. I thought it was funny. So we need now MAGA hats that are orange with antennas on them, right? Anyhow, I thought it was funny. Now this isn't to start the whole feud against anti-Donald or whatever, or pro-Donald. It's just, you guys got to find humor in life. Whether we believe him to be an alien, or we believe him to be an orange Oompa Loompa, or whether we love him for his business acumens, you know, we just need to have some fun with the current situation that we are in. So, in a nutshell, the aliens are coming. They're here, actually. We just don't know what type of alien they are, what their plan is for us. So, you know, choose wisely. Choose your friends wisely. Watch your back. Do not talk to anybody that is hovering above you until we know if they too can be trusted. Yeah, Elon's in on it. I think Elon is he is the alien of the technical version of this. So, as long as they stay in Jersey, they're everywhere, Candace. They are everywhere. They are not just in Jersey. They are in California. They are in Montana. They are in Texas. They are everywhere, watching our every move, seeing how we live on this planet, what we believe in, how we function, and whether or not they can matriculate into a society without being seen. So anyhow, if those of you who are watching the whole thing, Dan's completely fascinated. He's a little worried because, you know, the government's trying not to elicit mass pandemonium, but they're not denying it anymore either. They're not denying it. So what does that tell you? That something is going on that they have not yet disclosed. Hi, Furry. How are ya? Bam. I wish one, yes. Aliens of the world, can you take and rescue every caregiver for a day or two? And in exchange, you leave a 4-second, take care of our loved ones while we get a little break, whether it be up in the sky or wherever. We caregivers need a break too, you know. We're suffering, we're depressed, we are unhappy. Help us out. All right, Pam, I tried. We'll try. No month. We can't be gone that long. Can I bring my dogs? At least one of them? Yeah, the government. Well, it's the government's job to figure things out. And there's so much still that we don't even know about. What do I do to keep myself happy? Nothing. It's impossible to find happiness. Have you ever talked about, just kidding. You do your damnedest, Peabody. You take little breaks when you can. Dan and I tag team. One will go do something for a couple of hours. I'll go, you run errands to get out of the house. I need excitement. How about sex with an alien? I heard it's electrifying. Anyhow, you do what you can. You see your nieces and nephews. That makes me happy on the weekends. I go gambling every couple of weeks. That makes me happy. Exercising, talking to you guys makes me happy. Does it nullify all the stress and all that stuff? No, it doesn't, but it helps, right? If I didn't have those outlets, I wouldn't be well. I'd probably be highly depressed. Instead, I'm lightly depressed. I would be highly medicated. Instead, I'm lightly medicated. Yes, and I used your MAGA, make aliens great again, humor. So you do the best you can. And you're never happy all the time. And that's okay. It's okay to not be happy all the time. Am I still happy when I lose? When I walk out? No. You know, actually I am, because I go with a set amount in my mind, and I know that that's gonna be gone. I anticipate it being gone. And I am happy because I've gotten out typically 4 hours. Sometimes if I go with people, it's longer, but 3 to 4 hours is a great time for me. Have a couple drinks, I can have some fun, I can relax. I don't have anybody asking me for a key, a wallet, where his brother Mark is, where's Josh, you know, I gotta take a pee. So it's so much nicer to get out. 4 hours of just myself, my own thoughts, and the excitement of possibly winning. Do I set a figure? Yeah, I pretty much have a figure every time I go. Same one. What was harder, stay-at-home motherhood or caregiving? Caregiving for my father-in-law. Caregiving is the hardest job I've ever had. I would take birthing a child and going through bloody nipples and no sleep with a baby than I do with no sleep with a 92-year-old and everything else. I'm about to call Area 51. Let's go. Let's do a meet and greet there. So yeah. So basically, that's the skinny of it all. There is no, you are not completely happy. You just like yourself and your tasks most of the time. Dan would probably argue with me that he doesn't feel that way, but I think he's just a lot of shit that's bottled up that he doesn't express. You get through motherhood knowing there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I think makes all the difference, yeah. And sometimes your babies sleep. Mine never did. I'm going to donate my body to aliens. They can go study it. The world needs more people like me. Some people might disagree with you on that one, but I appreciate it. So my birthday was Monday, and it was just it's a regular day. We don't get breaks. You know, Pam, I know you don't. As a single caregiver, it's fucking hard. You know, Pam takes care of her husband. She doesn't have any other support but herself. So her level of depression, her level of anger, her level of fuck, here we go again is probably a lot higher than mine, because she doesn't get to leave. She doesn't get that break. I feel like I haven't really gotten a good break in a long time either, and I'm starting to lose it. So I feel for the people who do this alone, because I can only go off of how I feel, and I do have help if I need it, right? Have you ever been with an Australian man? Never been with a man down under. Darren, I have not. So anyhow, I appreciate that Italian girl, but you guys are giving me too much credit, honestly. I'm pretty badass. You know, I can say that if you have my loyalty, I'm pretty badass. You're not gonna get smiles and happiness all the time, but you're gonna still get me doing my thing. My husband has trouble walking, but when we go to the doctor, it's remarkable. He can walk and talk. Isn't that funny? Have to work there. Janitors, cooks, electricians. I need to apply. There's what is normal? You know, everybody says normal's a selection on the washing machine, right? You know, I could be normal, you could be normal. We all have our definition of normal. It's subjective, right? It's subjective. How Australian men treat women. You know what's funny, Darren, is I've been with the same man practically my whole life, right? And we were talking about this yesterday. When you're used to a certain way, right? You're used to a certain just way. It's your way. Whether it's the right way, the wrong way, or whatever it is. We talked about this. I would probably have the biggest problem with a man who gave too much. Because it would be uncomfortable for me, because that's something that I'm not used to, right? So I'm used to a man who is not very romantic. I'm used to a man who has a short fuse. I'm used to a man that, is a Salinger. And Salingers aren't very romantic. They don't treat their women like the princesses or the queens they should be treated like. It's just their way. Does it make it wrong? No. It just makes it their way. And they were trained according to their parents, right? Again, in order to break free from the mold, you have to want to do it or see the things that you want to change, right? In order to change or to further progress in being better, right, than most. It takes a lot of work, right? Self-reflection takes a lot of work. And a lot of people can't do it, so they help other people. They put their love and their attention in other people because it's easier to help other people than it is for themselves. Dan is one of those people, right? Loves his family. I do a badass job caring for our family, and he feels the need to take care of his family, meaning his siblings, his mom, his dad. That's just for whatever reason, the task in his journey that he's given himself. Now, with that being said, he kind of parents his family and I parent ours. And there's a lot of things wrong with that. There's a lot of things that aren't good with that way. But it is what it is, right? He gives other people and tries to fix them without really fixing himself. Oh, honey. Because it's easier. And that's the fact. That's just the fact. That's the psychology behind it. People who need the most fixing are the ones who help others the most. And I always say to him, honey, if you put as much effort into those phone calls with your nephew or your friends as you do with me, we would be just hopping. We would be hopping, but he knows I can handle myself. That's the problem. I need to be more needy, I guess. My father-in-law took great care of my mother-in-law. I thought I would get the same, but my husband went in the opposite direction. I know. And the whole thing is, you never know, Pam, right? It could, hopping or bumping. Well, I was kind of using that analogy because sometimes I walk in the room, right? Sometimes I walk in the room when he's lecturing somebody and I'm like, what? And then he does this. Get out of here. I mean, it's funny. Yes, I got my mouth guard. Yes. Well, I had one, but my mouth guard is way gone. Shot. Needed a new one. I got my Botox since the other shit didn't work. Lidocaine, no. So I got Botox in my jaw. I got Botox in my temple, and I got Botox at the base of my skull. So now I really notice my neck. So hopefully this will continue. It just gets better, right, over time, the Botox. So I'm hoping I put a message into my my pain specialist for my neck now. Now it was awarded government, little top security clearance before school. Top secret. Are you an alien? How am I? Somebody asked how I was. It didn't really last that long, Slick. Did your insurance cover my Botox? Well, it was a $50 copay, but I didn't know I was getting it, so I'll let you know. I'll let you know. And I would be willing to share the cost. I don't give a shit. But I don't know what it is yet. So I'm thinking it's going to be something, but I can tell you what I was spending pre going through my Kaiser. So I was spending $250 a jaw. $250 a jaw. And let me tell you, that was the best $500 I've ever spent. When you have that much pain and you don't care like how much You just want the pain gone. And Dan's probably thinking, what? But $250 a job, $250 a side. And let me tell you, it helped for about 4 to 5 months. And what's weird is that if I got Botox in my face, it doesn't last. But for whatever reason, the Botox in my jaw, because maybe it's deeper, it goes in deeper into the muscle. So I'll let you know. I used to spend, over a year ago, I used to spend $500 every 5-6 months. Yeah. So yeah, he said Advil, $2.99. Not the same. Dan, until you walk in my shoes and feel my pain, and it's pretty much you and Ed that give it to me. So I don't last about a month ago. My doctor tried some kind of filler in my face. When I got to this, found out it was, yeah, I took a shit. Filler's no jokes. Like, filler's no joke. I mean, it's expensive. You should ask before. But like, I know it's probably, I'm hoping it's going to be cheaper. You know, I'm hoping it's going to be cheaper. I know that when I went to get my lidocaine for my pain, I think it was a $90 copay. So I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I do. Today was the first. So it takes about 7 to 10 days for the Botox to really kick in. Now, when you're getting it injected in your jaw, you almost, like, I get reprieve immediately. I get not the most, right? But I get reprieve immediately. So last night, I'm gonna tell you, this was the first night that I woke up that I didn't wake up with a locked jaw from grinding, from clenching so hard. I mean, I'm probably like a dog, you know, a dog bite and you have to pry their jaw open. That's me in the morning. So it's the first morning that I did not have so much pressure on my teeth and my jaw. So it's going to be wonderful. So if it's less than $500, it's a win, right? Hopefully it passes on soon. Maybe you won't have to see these videos anymore then. Adam, that's really ugly. Can somebody get rid of Adam? If anybody's here. If not, I can do it. I don't know why I'm telling people to do it. But that was really ugly, Adam. Anyway. So it's a horrible thing to say, right? Yeah, every night. So I don't necessarily grind anymore, but I clench really hard. So every night I'm like this. It's like, and when I wake up in the morning, I have to, like, you know, open my jaw. It's horrible. So that adds a lot of tension and pressure. And when he was injecting, it was funny because, watch the dog, she's right there. When he was injecting this side, it like felt good because anything from the pain. When he got to this side, he was like, wow, your muscles are really tight. And because one of them, he had to, like, on my right side is my worst side. And on one of the side, he had to really, like, push into the muscle because this whole side, he was like, wow. He goes, I mean, you're tight, but this is bad, because he couldn't get it in. So he's like, you want ice after? He said, especially for your right side. I said, no, I'm good. He's like, yeah, hopefully this helps you. Yeah, I mean, that's how bad I am. And nobody knows because I don't talk about it, but, you know, I might say now, you know, to give Dan like a warning, like, you know, I'll say, God, my neck's really hurting today, you know, but I don't go on and on and on about the extensity of my pain, or I say I'm not doing well today, you know, and there's no questions asked ever. He just probably rolls his eyes like, great, what now? But that's it. That's my life. I mean, when you live with chronic pain, it's either like, you know, you have days that it's just not so bad, right? And then you have days that it's just ridiculous. Today, my neck is killing me. Ever since I fell the other night getting up with Ed, my left side is worse. And normally it's my right side, but it's this whole side is like, I'm in so much pain. Just to turn my head hurts. I don't know why you think all you're hearing is I want a side piece, because that's the least thing I need. And no women, we talked about this yesterday. Women, yeah, it's mine's, I have holes in mine. Women, I'm gonna tell you, women, at my age don't and are not interested. Well, most women my age are not interested in a side piece. We don't want dick. We just want peace. We want quiet. We want to be left alone, and we want to just sit in our own misery with our bodies changing. You know what I mean? Pam, keep your head up, girl. Your husband broke his leg. Yeah. It affects your quality of life. It affects your mood every day, right? Imagine you're a caregiver, right? And you have constant pain. And I know a lot of my people who follow me, they have constant pain, and they are doing this caregiving job alone because it's their husband, right? Because it's their husband. And they have this pain that is undeniable. And the more stress, the more things you get overwhelmed, the more it piles, the more it matriculates throughout your body, and your areas that are in pain get more in pain. It affects your way of life. It affects how your moods are, your behaviors. It affects your caregiving. It affects your look on life, right? And then pair that in with lack of sleep. It's god awful. I can look to my husband, I'll never seek another man. I'll seek being alone. I tell Dan all the time, because he used to say, you need to find an older man if I die that, can support you and your lifestyle. And I looked at him, hi Frogman, I looked at him and I said, I will be alone for the rest of my life. I don't want another man, ever. I want to sit here in my peace and quiet and solitude. I want to be able to go and visit my kids when I want to. I want to be able to go see my niece and nephews when I want to. I want to be able to do what I want to do without trying to be happy with somebody else. Too much work. Too much work. Relationships are too much work. This relationship is too much work. It's hard. I do not want another one. I will be happy alone. I do not want a wife. No, I do not want a wife. I don't want a partner. I'm okay with being alone. And if I need a man, I've got a variety of colors that I can use if I need one. That's USB charge. They don't talk, right? There's nothing left inside of your body, right? They don't take your covers, right? They don't take up your bed. They don't stink up your bed. They don't dirty your bed. They don't mess up your bed. You can just wake up in the morning and flip the covers over and it's perfection. They don't leave messes, nicotine pouches everywhere, right? They don't bitch and complain about how much sex they don't get. You know what I mean? Shit. No. I'm fine. No, I didn't get my suspenders. No. And it's a logical question these days. Conics. I mean, I could be into women, but I'm not. I think women are beautiful. I can say when they're pretty, when they have hot bodies, nice vaginas. I can admit that shit. But I don't want to touch one. A vagina, that is. I'll touch your boobs if they're fake, because I like to feel them. So, it's about it. That's about it. Now, I've kissed girls back in the day when I was young and spry, but I don't feel the need to do that anymore. Done it, been there. I'm okay with not doing it again. But no, there's no sexual attractions to the vagina, the fellow vagina. Nope, not. I'm just really not attracted to anything right now but sleep and gambling right now because I need to get away. It was a biased question because I'm a lesbian, I figured. But no, we can be friends though. We can be companions, but no touching, no touching. And back in the day, I could have been a receiver only, not a giver, but no, I'm not interested anymore in that either. I'm good. I'm good. By the way, thank you so much for all the gifts. Anyhow, friends with benefits then. I don't necessarily know if I would want a man in my house. I'm just saying, right now, as of where I am currently today, right? Right, receiver. No, I don't think I would ever, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because, I just don't really think about it because I don't need to, but I don't think I would ever want to bring a man back to my house You know, it's weird because, you know, it's a house that I would have shared with my husband. And it's still like, if he had died, right, it would be weird for me for a long time. Like, it would be weird for me for a long time. So, no touching. I can touch myself. You remember the Divinals? Now, if Nick Bosa wanted to go, he could afford to put me up in a, you know, a nice motel. But no, I wouldn't bring Nick Bosa back to my house. Shit, my kids could come in at any minute. Andrew's probably going to still be living at home. I'm a 50-year-old woman and I'm fine, right? And I'm hoping that I'm going to be fine. I'm hoping Dan has enough life insurance to take care of me for the rest of my life. Now, he would say, well, if you stop going to the casino, you might. But whatever. My daughters, yes. But I don't want any competition, Cam Kappa. What if, like, he had his eyes set on me at 50, and then my younger daughters came in, and then he was like, well, wait a minute. No, I don't need, they're younger, they are prettier than their mother, and they have tighter skin and tighter everything else, and bouncy titties, you know. As you age, things droop and sag. They ain't as cute, you know. Yeah. Yeah, if kids are not out by 25, they're never leaving. I don't expect I wouldn't care if Andrew lived with me for the rest. I'm that creepy mom. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I'm really not that mom. Like, I hope he gets out and lives his life. He has plans to, but I mean, my house is big enough. If my kids needed to come back, they're welcome. If I die first, my hubby can live in the house until he takes another woman or dies. So here's the thing. Now, I think this is, it's a, I don't know what you call it, a Pandora's box. Here's the thing. What if I died? If I died, I can tell you for sure he would have another woman pretty quick. He would have to. I don't think men do well without a woman in their lives. Most men. I'll give you most just because I'm going to have some on here that say, well, that's really unfair. But women are different. I mean, for most women, we are used to being independent. We are used to handling shit. We are used to getting things done. We're used to micromanaging, and we are used to not needing anybody, right? Yeah, Amanda. And she would be a lot younger than me. Hi, Sally. How you doing, girl? And she would be a lot younger than me. But I mean, would a younger woman be able to handle my job? My kids would be hell. My kids, I mean, I can tell you something. If I died and my husband, if my husband got a woman pretty quick, and younger, God help her. God help her. God help her. My kids would not be well. Bye, Sam. Love ya. She would not ask. I mean, you think I have a tone? You think I can be bitchy? Woo! You haven't seen my daughters. You have not seen my daughters or Andrew. I think Andrew would not be happy. He's a mama's boy, so no women are getting smarter these days. Yeah. No women, the wrath of Jennifer. Woo, good luck with that one. Especially Jennifer. Jennifer would be vile. She would be ruthless. Hi, Jackie Day. How are you, girl? So yeah, no. No, wouldn't work. Dan would literally have to sneak her around. They would probably have cameras set up. Andrew would probably, the thing is that Andrew would probably call them, thanks, Mary, and be like, Jen, just to let you know, Dad brought that bitch over again. I need some ammunition. I need some help. We need to abort the mission and get her out. And she's sleeping on Mom's side of the bed. What the fuck? Would take handouts. The thing is Dan doesn't give handouts. He doesn't give handouts. So it's not like he's rolling in the dough, yo. So it's not like they would think that, oh, are you that guy from TikTok? Great, like he's some multimillionaire or something. And they'd be hoping they'd get handouts, but there's no handouts here. That's not the way it works. And let me tell you, Jen would be here to make sure there were no handouts. She has high expectations after our demise, after our deaths. I was in Valley Younger. Not my house, but his. We did while wife was in Florida. Jesus, Gracie. I'm now carrying 24/7 for my ex. What? Stop it, Zelda. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. You did? Oh, yay, Cindy. If Dan couldn't do my life. Dan could not do my life. He could not do it, and he could not do it well. He can't micro man. He cannot. I mean, he gets overwhelmed when he has to go to the office for an hour, right? Right, Zelda? All that shit a year ago, and now what? Is he at the house with you? Oh my God, girl. You're living a life. Oh, hopefully you're getting paid. Hopefully you're getting paid. Shit. This is no joke. Whoa. No. So, yeah, that's tough. It's good to see you. Hi, John. How are you? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if I could do this again. Seriously, I don't think I can do this again. Dan did good, provided you a beautiful home and family. Yeah, I've never said he hasn't. I don't know why you guys like to put words in my mouth. I'm not, you guys, like, this is the thing when I talk about judgment and how you guys take the perception and twist things that I could be saying into things that you want to believe in and see. And you have to understand that, you guys either get me or you don't. I have never talked bad about my husband in a serious way. I'm just realistic, and I bash on him because it's fun and it helps me cope, and he's well aware of it. But I have never denied my husband the multitude of things that he has provided for me and the family. But remember this. Remember, if it wasn't for me, he would not have been able to be as successful as he was. Toot toot. And some of you are going to take that the wrong way, especially especially the trolls. But he has said that numerous times for many different reasons, right? I ground Dan. I ground my husband. That's it. I make him, a different person in different ways, right? The ways that are probably more important than the stupid romance and the flowers and all the bullshit that is just, you can have a man that gives you all those things and says, I love you, but behind your back, he's fucking another woman. Come on. People get so hung up on flowers and jewelry and all those things in the I love yous. But I got a man who doesn't always do those things, and he's been loyal, right? He's definitely flawed, as am I, and he's very truthful and trustworthy. I can tell you, I can do without the I love yous, the flowers, the jewelry, the bags, right? Knowing that he is faithful, and at the end of the day, he would never do something to harm me, right? Let's be real. And I have seen plenty of women living the life of Riley, and their husbands have been fucking other women. Women in relationships at the time that I thought were golden, right? Women who I wished I had their life, right? Now, this was back in a time where I was insecure and I didn't know any better. I thought, your husband was supposed to make you happy. I thought that's the way it was supposed to be. I didn't realize that I had to make myself happy, right, at that time. So I would look at other people's relationships and things and think, God, why couldn't that have been me? right? In the end, when high school ended and all those things, everything ended up falling apart for many of these women. Why? Because they had all those things. They had a sweet romantic husband, but they were getting some on out of the house. They were getting some. They fell out of love, you know. They just were trying to do things to make things or seem that everything was better without recognizing that things were shit and they weren't gonna last. Nope, that's okay. We have hardships. We're bumps in the road. I mean, I look at my husband and one minute I can be so happy and blissful, and the next I want to punch him in the nose. And the grass isn't always greener. I put in so much time in my relationship that I couldn't imagine doing it any other way, right? This is my life. Whether it's good or bad or indifferent, I don't know. But it's the life that I have chosen. It's the life that I have chosen with a husband who is trusts, you know, I have trust in, and he has loyalty. We have loyalty. And we know we have expectations in each other. And, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Gigi, my bladder. It's about partnership and teamwork. Nothing's 50-50. And if you have a 50-50 relationship, God love you. But, you know, and most of the relationships that I've seen, it's not 50-50. Somebody always carries more of the burden of something. I work hard. I mean, you guys, I'm working nonstop. You guys don't understand. I'm trying to write a book, you know. I'm trying to not fall off this plate. I'm trying to build, you know, a merch website. By the way, check out savmerch.com. Get your email in there. You don't have to buy anything. Just get your email in there for alerts or any future events that we're going to start doing. I'm trying to build, you know, a business. I'm trying to build a brand. I'm trying to do things, and it takes energy. I'm doing social media. I'm replying to people. You know, I'm getting products to try, some that I want to try, some that people ask me to try. I'm trying to do all these things while maintain my house, my sanity, caregive, and I don't stop. You know, one of my friends on Zoom who has been with me almost 2 years, and she said, oh, "What do you know?" I'm always like I'm always working for the most part. You know, looking, researching products, seeing what I want to try next, looking at all my, you know, offers and stuff like that. And she's like, "Do you respond to people all day long? I mean, every day?" I said, "Yeah, it's 24/7. You know, until you make it big, you know, where you have people, you know, coming to you and working for you, you know, it's a nonstop job. It's something you always have to think about. It's something you always have to strategize about. It's something you have to change and think about changing, because the monotony gets the same. And you got to keep people interested, right?" Here's Joanne Sullivan again. Watch her. I choose to. Absolutely. What's your point? It still doesn't make it easier, right? I'm working my butt off. Plain and simple. A lot more than majority of you people do. What is the merch site again? SAB, SABmerch.com. Let's see. I'm sorry for you. Oh, we're too young and secret on my behalf. Anyhow, so, you know, it's something that I have never worked so hard for in my entire life, right? It's nothing that I have to. I choose to, but I also have to. My husband is not doing law anymore, right? His income alone doesn't support the family. I have to work, right? And I'm trying to build something that I can hopefully, if he dies from a pulled tooth or something, and a blood clot goes to his brain, that I can still support my family. Welcome. Did you want to come talk? You want to see how miserable he is? Come show everybody your face. Now, Lisa had 2 teeth pulled yesterday.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
See, here's your patience of a saint.
Yeah, I'm in there fucking dying listening to you.
Shut the fuck up.
Out here.
That's what I get. Shut the fuck up. That's how my husband talks to me.
Yeah, I'm in pain. But there's aliens here. Just know that. There's something going on. At this point, we gotta hope it's the aliens, because if the Russians and Chinese have this kind of technology that we can't stop, we're in big trouble. So hopefully it's aliens, guys. We're gonna do it. We'll talk about a little bit on the live tonight. I'm just diving. What else am I gonna do?
Kelsey said Advil down, $2.99.
Yeah, I'm going to get my Advil right now. But
I mean, the fucking Novocaine hasn't worn off yet, so you haven't experienced full pain. He's walking away. He's going to be really nice to me today. I can see that. Yeah, he's sighing. I mean, this is my husband. My husband that you guys think is perfect. Your breath is amazing today. Do you see what a baby Dan is? Lisa, you even came on smiling and laughing and having fun. Not him. He's just the devil in disguise. He's an alien in disguise. The shaker stuff is not for losing weight, you guys. There is no there is a quick fix. It's called GPLs or GP1s or whatever the fuck they are. Oh, Ozempic, you know, those types of things. That's a quick fix if you want a quick fix. But this stuff is not going to give you, Cha-Cha, he was joking. That was just Sean. Sean, no, he's fun. He was just joking. You should know him by now. So that's quick fix. This stuff is just maintaining, right? It's just to help. This has helped my bladder tremendously. I could tell you that because I think when I'm on my period and whatever TMI, I don't care, but I'm trying to explain. Yeah, you're bad. It's Sean, the dead man, the guy, the crematorium, Mr. Crematorium, who's almost retired. That's who that was. It's okay. What now?
Nothing.
Lisa's calling you a baby.
There it is. The $2.99 cure. No $1,000 shots. None of that. What are you doing? I gotta walk now too.
Are you supposed to walk?
I'll be really miserable if I don't.
I know, but you're not really supposed to because your blood, you need to make sure it clots. Exercise after a pool is a no-no. Look it up.
Don't say anything about exercise.
Well, you're not supposed to.
I said don't suck with the straw, don't smoke, and don't spit.
Yeah,
and
you
eat
got.
soft food.
Yeah, you just gotta let it roll out of your
You got
mouth.
any soft food for me? Yogurt or something?
I got some clam chowder for you. The tinge of hot sauce.
Don't fucking make me laugh.
And then if you know what clam chowder is, that's what he says my juices are like. To tell you, I talked to my friend who is a mortician. Oh. Here's the thing. Do you think Dan won't smoke, though? That's the question. Is Dan gonna still smoke? Now, Dan is miserable. He is not happy, and he's going to make my life miserable today, too. Just so you know. Men are pussies. Sorry. With anything. Colds. I mean, I get whiny, but let me just talk about my husband. He is completely just miserable, and he makes everybody miserable around him because he's miserable. And it's like, if he's suffering, he wants everybody to suffer with him. Just so you know. That's him. Yeah. Yeah. Honey, how you doing? How the fuck you think I'm doing? Are you all right? Fuck. All right. Shit. Yeah. Yeah. So he's I've sensed the coming home and walking straight to the room, he wasn't happy. Well, he should have worn his partials. No, don't get a week. Shit, he doesn't need any breaks. Shit.
Oh, he swears at me all the time, Linda. That's normal. I know, sweet Dan, right? Sweet, innocent Dan is not so innocent. Um, Misery loves company. I swear he's gonna be horrible. We'll fare better in clotting. Lower teeth have a tendency for dry socket. Oh, that's what I know. But so hi V, thank you. He's a totally wrong and misleading. He's a cusser too. You know, God, that wife is so classy. Not. She should take better lessons from her husband who doesn't cuss and is so innocent. He had a lower tooth extracted. Back molar. The lone tooth that the partials were going to help. But he hasn't worn them in over a year, so that one got a little weak and got rotted out because of the pressure of just that one little guy by himself. You know, Dan knows better. He's a dentist as well. In college, I know plenty of girls taking Ozempic. It's just not a quick fix, just less hungry. Well, it's a quick fix with everything I've seen. Let me tell you, the women drop weight really quick and their hair falls out too. Yeah, no, my husband's not innocent. He just plays one on TV. I cuss. I tell you, you know, Dan like tries because he tries to be polite. I just don't care anymore. I think cussing's fun. And I think it's an artistic form of freedom of speech. You either like it or you don't. And if you don't, get the fuck out. Dan is not a dentist. I'm just kidding. Severe sleep apnea and may have to use a CPAP or surgery. Ugh. Yes, Jesse, I'm drained. I'm drained all the time. I'm drained. Dan, if he keeps typing, might get dry socket because it's too much thinking, and the thinking leads to dry mouth. Why do you try and bring me down? Partials down. Now, what are your partials going to stick to? I just want you to know how I feel every day, what you do to me. You drag me through the mud, you pull me by my hair, and you say, me, man. You women, get busy and do your job. And he really just sits down, and I do everything all day long, sweating, crying, bleeding, because this man works me to death. So last week in bed 3 days, no lie. From a fucking colonoscopy. Hey, G-Man. The poor girl, my ex already drank a lot while on Ozempic all semester, now thyroid failure. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, you guys, we don't know, you know, just like remember Fen-Phen. If you're in college, you won't remember Fen-Phen, but this goes back to all the, you know, the quick fixes. You got to do this and do that. And we don't know what now we know the long-term effects of Fen-Phen because it's been long enough. But, you know, these GLP-1s and shit, they're there designed for, you know, for specific reasons, but we still don't know what the causes are for people who don't have problems with their A1C, right? And long-term use is not probably smart. Huge on Fen-Phen, yeah. Black beauties? No, I don't. Fen-Phen equals death, heart problems, remember? At a Fen-Phen store? Oh my God. And thinks it's caused her. Yes, I believe that it was linked to AFib, 100%. It was like speed, up to 50,000%. Well, because what happens, hi Big Dog, what happens with Ozempic is it attacks your proteins. It eats away your muscles, right? And so you just have that death look. So it's really important to eat a lot of protein when you're on those drugs. But anyhow, I don't know. The hair loss thing just scares me because I already have hair loss. So what would happen if I took it? You know, not that I would, but it would be nice to get back down to what I'm supposed to be. But no, I don't think, because it's so easy to get these days. Why not shoot me in the leg and make me lose 10 pounds? But it kind of scares me. But sickly, right? And I think people just don't know when to stop. Like, you need to find a healthy weight that you can maintain, but when you get off of it, you gain a certain percentage back, and most people haven't changed their eating patterns, and so they're going to gain it all back. A speed prescribed by a doctor. Oh, wow. I don't remember. It takes 3 hours to do. Oh, I'll take it. I'll take some. I would love some hair. Woman's hair is so important to the well-being. It is. And you know what? I watched another TikTok of a woman who shaved her head and was so freeing. Because why do we need hair to be beautiful? Why do women need hair to be beautiful? Men can be bald and handsome, but why can't we? And it's just one of those, things again for women. And a lot of women have taken the stance of, you know what, I'm beautiful either way. And I refuse to lead by societal standards, and I'm cutting my hair. So there are many gorgeous women without hair. There are, I think. It is a misogynistic thing. It is. And hair makes us so vain, I think. And if you've never experienced hair loss, it is very stressful. And so to be free from that stress would be wonderful. I could be absolutely shredded. I eat healthy but sweets at the end of my night. I could be shredded too if I just stopped eating a lot. Everyone said their mother seems to have their hair extensions these days. And hair thing. I'm telling you, it's a thing. A little ice cream before bed, it's the worst. It's not, because if you have a little, that's not going to do that, right? It's not going to do that. But anyway, y'all, I'm freezing my nippies off. So, hi, Sean. Sorry. Cha-Cha said, sorry. She should know you better by now, but apparently she misjudged. Pay-per-view, Danielle shaves her head. I'm not ready yet, but you never know when I will be. How about pay-per-view, Dan keeps his mouth shut all day. With no facial expressions, no angry face, no angry growl. You know, places that make him pay me. Kept our own places that make him pay me, doing it mainly for my daughter. She's a junior in high school, not sure he'll see her graduate. He's declining so fast. Yeah, that is a mind fuck. Holy crap. Okay, anyhow, love you guys. I'm frozen. Now I'm cold because I'm just standing here doing nothing. Peace out. Remember, you are important, you are worthy, and you matter. And if Dan makes it through the day with his anger issues, we should be live tonight. Maybe, if I'm okay. I know you were picking on me. I got mad at Cha-Cha. Did you hear me? The fact that she doesn't know who you are. And she talks to me that way too. But she must have had a mind fuck for a minute. Or a brain fart. Anyway, I love you guys. Hang tough, be well, be kind as always. Goodman, get another tattoo while you're gone. Love ya.